What is up, guys? Welcome to E-Finds, where you're gonna find E-Things. That's as far as I've gotten. Anyways, guys, I wanted to welcome you guys to the channel. Thank you so much for checking me out. Anyways, I am here in my reselling shed. It's pretty much a paradise in here, if I'm being honest. I went from a tiny little utility closet to this shed, and I can't complain. Anyways, today I wanted to jump into my most recent thrift haul. And then I wanted to jump into the series that I'm starting, which is basically starting FBA. I started FBA, Amazon FBA, and if you don't know what that is, basically, you take your product that you found, whether it's through thrifting or yard sales or Facebook Marketplace or whatever, and you send it directly to Amazon. And Amazon will ship, and will take care of everything else from there. Me being a part-time reseller, this gives me a huge benefit over eBay. I still do tons of eBay. Everything you see right there, all of that is eBay stuff. But it allows me to simply get everything ready, ship it off to Amazon, and they take care of the rest. Now, the profit margins might be lower, but I can be way more efficient with what I do. So I've recently started that, and I found a lot of struggles in getting started. There's a lot of ambiguous stuff. There's not a lot of detail. And so I wanted to do a whole series on what that looked like to get started with Amazon FBA. So we're going to jump into a ton of that stuff soon. But for now, let's check out what we've got. I have a Goodwill, and I'm going to be honest. I watch all of these other YouTubers, and they find treasure after treasure at their Goodwill, and it's insane, and mine's not that great. They have really high prices sometimes, but there's always money to be found. I want you guys to really get that in your heads that no matter where you're at, no thrift store at all in your town, or 12 thrift stores in your town. Like, I feel like some of these YouTubers have. I'm like, how do you have this many around you? But no matter what, I want you guys to know there's money to be found, even if it's unconventional sources. But today, I went to my Goodwill, and I want to show you my haul. So, first of all, on Amazon, my main target is stuff like this. DVDs, CDs, video games, whatever it is. And that's actually a really hard process to get started in. So if you guys are interested in that, keep watching the channel, keep watching these videos, because we're going to dive into how to get ungated and all sorts of stuff like that. But when I'm looking through DVDs, and this is all new for me, guys, this is in the last month, so bear with me. We're going to learn some stuff, but I'm super excited. So when I look at stuff like this, this catches my eye because I've never seen it. It looks interesting, it looks old, and these kind of DVDs like this is the stuff that's going to sell. So this, $1.99. When I send it into Amazon, I'll be able to sell it for between $10 and $15. Now, if you subtract the fees and everything like that, I'm looking at maybe $6, $7 in profit. Subtract the shipping supplies and the cost of shipping, you know, I might be getting $5 in profit. But if I can find 6, 8, 10 of these every time I go thrifting, you're looking at $40, $50, $60 in profit. And like I said, all I do is I take this stuff, I make sure it's all clean, I scan it into Amazon, I put it in a box, and Amazon takes care of the rest. So, I'm not too big to be earning $5 per DVD. So, another one right here, this is a good thing to be on the lookout. This is a Reselling DVD. It's new, it's wrapped. I got this one for $1.99 as well, and it's going to sell between $10 and $15 as well. So be on the lookout for wrestling DVDs, especially old ones. They can be super, super good. Old cartoons as well. The Batman. I don't know if any of you guys grew up like watching this, but yes, 100%. I grabbed this because I was like, I might want to watch that. But it's also worth some money. And then last, here's like a triple feature of some sort of mystery. I have no idea. But once again, like $10 or $12 on that. Now, my outlier here, this is what I found that was super interesting, is this. It's Walt Disney Treasures. Now, what is it? I have no idea. In fact, it's actually in Italian. So who knows? I mean, but there is one singular listing on Amazon for $100. And there's one listing on Amazon for like $300. Now, do I think this is going to sell for $100 or $300? Probably not. But I got it for $2. And so, there's obviously some value. One, because it's not listed a lot, which means it's not common. And two, because the listings are super high. So this is a risk, right? But it's a $2 risk for me. So $2. I'm willing to take a risk especially if it means I could bring in $30, $40, $50 or whatever. It's totally complete. There's like 10 discs in here. And so that's the thing about Disney, is like you never know with Disney. Something could be worth nothing at all or so much. And so sometimes I just avoid it altogether. That particularly caught my eye. And here's something to always be on the lookout. That's right, if you've been reselling for any amount of time, especially in the hard goods, you know that these guitars are on the lookout. So this is a Guitar Hero guitar. I think it's for the PS3. I picked it up at Goodwill for $4.99, so $5, which is fine, I guess. You can usually sell these, just depending on the one, from like 20 or 30 all the way up to like 60 or $70, depending on, you know, what console and what game system, like, and all the generations of them, etc., etc. I ran into some battery corrosion issues with this, which is kind of like a reseller's nightmare. But first tip for you guys: toothbrush, isopropyl alcohol. That will almost always take care of it. Now, of course, if I list this, I'm probably going to list it on eBay instead of send it to Amazon because of those issues. It's also missing the little nub down here. But because of those issues, I listed on eBay. I want the stuff I send to Amazon to be like tip-top shape. I don't want to send anything that could be broken or whatever. There's a higher bar of entry for your goods at Amazon because people have higher expectations from Amazon than eBay. You know yourself, if you've gotten something from eBay versus Amazon, you're expecting a higher quality, and so I want to send that higher quality. But yeah, so always disclose if you have battery corrosion. You know, we're good resellers. We want to make sure everybody knows. We're not trying to take advantage of anybody. So we're going to do that. And then last but not least, this I bought because I wanted them. You know what these are, guys? These are authentic Heelys. That's right. Now, they're $10, which for my Goodwill is actually really cheap. Some of you guys see other people buy shoes for like $4.99, $5.99, $6.99. I'm lucky to find a pair for $5.99. $10 actually took me off guard. The average price of shoes at my Goodwill is like $24.99, which is absolutely crazy. I don't know who makes those prices, but people buy them, and so I mean, I guess if people bought my goods for that, I would sell them at that price too. But that was my haul. The Heelys, actually, I don't know if they have value, but I wanted my wife to try them on. That's all. That's all. But I think I could sell them for at least 10 or 15 after she tries them. And so that is that. Now, as my first video, guys, I wanted to basically detail what the entry for reselling would look like. What do you need? What are you going to have to find? How much is it going to cost? And all sorts of stuff like that. So we're going to get right to that. I'll see you guys over there. Like I said, guys, there's going to be some tools that we need to be successful resellers, right? Some of these things are luxuries. Some of these things are essentials. And so, looking around this whole room, you can see that there's a wide variety of stuff, including my gardening tools. We won't need those for reselling, but they are in here as well. But as you can see, there's a ton of stuff here. So, let's get into what exactly we're going to need, what exactly is going to help us, and what is just a nice luxury to have. So let's get into that. Back in here once again, guys, I've got all this stuff piled out on the table like you guys saw, and so I wanted to go over what you need to get into the game, okay? There are a few things that you are going to need, all right? The first is going to be a computer, right? No matter what, you're going to need a computer. It can be an old laptop if you need. I've got a laptop in here. It can be your PC, your Mac, whatever you have, but you're going to need a computer, and you're going to need a printer, okay? So, a computer and a printer, why do you need that? Well, you need it for anytime that you sell anything, anytime you want to ship anything, all of that. You're going to have to print the labels off of eBay, print the stuff for Amazon. You're going to have to go into the Amazon FBA system if you're sending stuff off. So, obviously, you need a computer and you need a printer. Along with that, some essentials, tape, right? You don't need a tape gun, but a tape gun is super nice, and they're not that expensive. So a tape and a tape gun, I would also say, are essentials. You're always going to need packing materials, okay, guys? Don't send naked items. Naked items are bad items. If you got an item with no protection at all, you wouldn't like it. You know, you ever got an item from Amazon, and it's, like, loose in the pack, and there's, like, two of these in there, and the box is, like, this big, and you're like, I don't want that. But then you get a package that's, like, gloriously packed, and you're like, they mean business, right? It can have a huge impact on your reselling game because, as always, your rank and your rating and how many stars and what percentage of success you have determines your ability to sell. So make sure you're always treating it right. Of course, boxes. Now here's the thing. You can get multiple different kinds of boxes. If you're selling through eBay, you can get these free USPS boxes. Now, the catch, as always, is you have to ship with priority mail or the flat rate system or whatever. So you can't use this for other services. You can't use this to send stuff into Amazon. So don't abuse the free stuff that you have. But you can get a ton of boxes. I have an entire thing of boxes. Actually, I want to show you guys up under here. I have an entire thing of free boxes down here. So all of these boxes I got for completely free. And I'm going to use them all for my eBay stuff, for shipping things. So always check those out. Another thing, at the base, you need a washcloth, some soap, and some water so that you can clean your items. Never send a dirty item. Never send something that you have not touched up yourself. And the last essential I'm going to say that you need is this. What's this, you ask? It's a weight.
It's a what?
You need to know what your items weigh. Some other luxuries are kind of needs, but a tape measure or a measuring tape. I have one of those, like, tape, body measure, shirt clothes, tailor, there you go. Tailor tape measures, that's about 3 feet long that I use for that. And last but not least, guys, you need a phone. The cool thing about today's day and age is that you don't need a fancy camera or a nice setup. All you need is a phone, like the thing I'm recording on right now, to be able to be a successful reseller. So when you think about all of that added up, if you baseline, you need a printer, which you can get pretty cheap, especially at a thrift store. You can find cheap printers all the time at thrift stores. You need a computer. If you get a refurbished or used one, you can get one for maybe $120, $150 for a decent computer that can run you pretty well. So maybe $70, $80, $170, $180 for that stuff. $15 for some tape and a tape gun. $10 for your weight. $20 for your bubble wrap, and your boxes can be totally free. So you're looking at maybe $200, $250 as your entry fee to get started in reselling. Now, that might sound like a lot, but at the end of the day, you can make that back super quick with some reselling. Now, like I said, we've also got some luxuries down here. So this right here, if you don't know, this is a Dymo label printer. This changes the game when it comes to reselling. I printed paper for a while until I was able to purchase one of these, but it prints out a sticker, which I have right here. The sticker goes on, and you just print the label onto the sticker and stick it onto whatever box you need. It's super great. Stick it right on, it's ready to go. Now, you have to get certain label sizes and stuff like that. I'll get that into another video. But if you can upgrade to a Dymo label printer, go for it. That would be great. Some cleaning luxuries. Magic erasers do some mad work on so many things. I mainly resell hard goods, so electronics, video games, and stuff like that. And so, this is great for getting that off. It's also great for stuff like shoes, for, you know, anything, and make a mess around the house. You can use them as well. I have a whole drawer of them. I didn't buy on-brand magic erasers because I'm cheap like that. They're not as good as magic erasers, but they do the job, and I got like 30 of them for super cheap. Also, cleaning supplies, isopropyl alcohol, toothbrush, sponges. I have like glass cleaner and stuff. Any polishes, right? It depends on how much you want to make your item shine and stand out compared to your competition, because that's it. You're in a competition and you want to do your best. Like I said, another luxury, a tape gun. They're $15. They're not super expensive at all. And then some stuff like this. So this is, it's not a poly mailer, but it's a video game DVD cover. I've got one right down here. Okay, I lied. I'm sorry. I didn't have one. But I'll do one live for you guys. So this right here, this can change the game on your product packaging. It's literally, I get any used games or DVDs that aren't sealed. You just stick them in the bag. Boop. Pop it in. Take your tape off. And then you've got an item that goes from a used item to a used item that looks like it's taken care of, right? Stuff like this. This stuff can change the game on on your ratings, on how people, want to order from you, again, returning customers. Now, come on with me. We're going to go on an adventure through the shed to look at some other things. So stuff like organizing cabinets are super nice. I've got cleaning supplies. I've got testing supplies, like cords and cables. And then I've got stuff like batteries, rubber bands, all sorts of stuff like that is super important. This right here is my photo booth. I'm working on upgrading that right now. But it's a portable pop-up photo booth I got for $30, $40 or whatever. But it's super nice and it takes great photos. So I went from poster board, so I just bought some white poster board and used these lamps, right? I've got like 3 or 4 of these lamps kind of tucked back here as well. And that was my photo booth for a while, and it worked great. So there's a lot of different things that you can use. Once again, more organization stuff. These are all my poly mailers, my bubble mailers, anything like that that I need to send stuff in padded envelopes. And then last but not least is some shelving and some bins, right? Those can make a difference as well. None of that is mandatory, but all of it makes a difference in your reselling game. There's also other things like a box resizer that you can get that's super great. I'm currently out of bubble wrap, but I have some arriving today, which will be nice. But bubble wrap can always make a difference and stuff like that. So that is that. There's tons of different stuff. Every reseller has their own preference on what they like to do, how they like to ship stuff. But this stuff is some of the basic things that every reseller could use. Now, depending on what you're going into, there could be some specialized stuff too. Certain tool sets. I have a universal like screwdriver set because I do a lot of electronic stuff. So I have to, like with my guitar, make sure that it is not corroded in the battery. And so you want screwdrivers and stuff like that. If you're doing electronic work, maybe some electronic repair equipment as well, just depending on what you want to get to. If you want to get into clothes, you might want a mannequin or, one of the heads to put hats on. Whatever it is, you can grab that. Or I have these shoes, right? Stick these in your shoes and you go from a flimsy pair of shoes that nobody wants to a nice full pair of shoes. It really changes the game. So I say all of this to tell you guys that your takeaway from this should be your presentation and your preparation matter. If you go into this game unprepared, you might struggle like I did. I came into this game probably 2 years ago for reselling, and I was not prepared at all. I was shipping out of my parents' basement where I lived, right? Great, yeah, it was so cool. But I was shipping out of my parents' basement, and it just wasn't good. I didn't have packing material. I was kind of scrambling for boxes. I spent too much money on stuff. My biggest blunder, I remember, I bought a $40 speaker set thinking I could sell it for more, and I threw it away probably a year and a half later because I never sold it. But the reality is, you guys can become resellers just like me. If me, Sam, who did not know what he was doing, can do it, you can too. And honestly, if you're on YouTube looking for advice and tips, you're way farther ahead than me. I solo resold stuff for probably 6 to 8 months before I realized that there's a whole community of YouTubers out here doing this so we can learn. So we'll be bringing a lot of videos for you guys. We're going to be doing reselling, like I said, and then FBA as well, diving into what it looks like to get all the way in to the FBA system. So be on the lookout, guys. We're going to be doing bolo videos. We're going to be doing thrifting videos. We're going to be doing all sorts of stuff. I am super excited, and I cannot wait to join this journey with you guys. So be on the lookout for the next video. We're going to be diving into your first steps on becoming an FBA reseller. So with that, drop a like, drop a subscribe, comment down below, tell me whatever you want, honestly. Let me know what you think, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.